Oh man, this is so cool.
How cool is it?
I really want to get one of these when my mom raises my allowance.
When your mom gives you your allowance?
When my mom gives me an allowance, I really want to get one. No, this is really cool though. This is like, the buttons feel really good. Like, you just get, like, it gives you the nostalgia feel of being in an arcade. There's not many arcades left in business.
Yeah.
So just having this gives you that feel. Just with the whole clickety clack, and you can't compete with that.
So this is Car Cool Karaoke. Welcome to James Corden's show. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
Who do you think is more entertaining?
You.
Corden or
DrewTalks is the most entertaining.
It's gonna move around. You might have to hold it.
My arm's looking big on that.
You been working out?
A little bit.
So we can talk about the plan though. What's the plan?
Want me to turn this off or what?
No, you can leave it on.
Is that good?
So the plan is we're gonna go to Starbucks, and you be going to, you need to open the door, because I think the less awkward we make it seem. Wow, there's a little cluster F over here.
Like, we're just people who just go to Starbucks, play video games all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I was even thinking about it, like, oh, you can't have that here. I'll be like, why not? And I'll pull out the Raspberry Pi and I'll be like, this computer's half the size of these people's laptops, so you're saying that, why do they get to have laptops and I can't have a small computer that consumes 1/3 the power? But anyways, I don't think it's gonna get to that, because I was thinking, I've imagined many different situations in my head.
I think that most of them, they probably just won't care. They just won't give a shit.
Exactly.
Like, you just come in and put it down.
And so let's say they do say something though. They don't care, right? So let's say they do bring it in, they do say something. Like, excuse me, sir, what is that? You know, and then then the best thing to do is not argue. I think the best thing to do is just go up to them, like if there's a line or something, like try not to make like a big scene, but like, oh yeah, that's a project we're working on. It's just a small computer, it just happens to be in a big piece of wood. I know it looks intimidating, but it's just a little small computer. And then we'll see what, you know, like really like deflate the situation.
Damn.
And telling you that you could bring it anywhere and let people get drawn to it. Case in point. Yeah, ABC News. Oh, you work for the news?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to get us? Man, we get him on the news. He give me like 3 of these for free.
Can I take a picture of you guys?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Put them in places like Starbucks or about
No. It's for like guys, for like their man cave and stuff. They're gaming.
It's boys and their toys.
Boys and their toys. But
oh, definitely. Especially a two-player interface to play with another person.
So the guy who made Atari, the original CEO, is that him? He also did Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Oh, well, he might have.
Yeah, the same guy who created Atari also created Chuck E. Cheese, because that's how he made money out of Atari, was through the machines and the thing. So anyways, he said that there's actually a feminist movement with Pong, because before Pong, only men asked women if they would like a drink. Pong was the first time where you go to a bar and a woman could ask you, do you want to play Pong? So they say that it was actually the biggest in the feminist movement.
The Sadie Hawkins video game.
Yes.
Or Miss Pac-Man, that's when Miss Pac-Man came out, right?
Yeah.
To not be so male dominant chauvinist, yeah.
But to the whole community thing, and like you came over, it's a very social thing. Versus a phone, if you go on BART right now, everyone's stuck in their phone.
Bring this bad boy to BART.
All right, so we just left Starbucks.
Just left Starbucks. It was longer than I thought it was gonna take. Setting up was fine. First thing people ask is, how much is it? Where can I get it? Like, that's the first thing people ask. Like, they don't ask how it's made or like what games it has. They're just like, nah, I want it. Yeah. Like, they see it and like, that guy was like, yeah, I want one. And he touched the arcade. He's like, oh yeah, this is it. Let me borrow it.
Yeah, like, let me borrow it.
He don't want to buy it. He's like, you can borrow it right now. Like, I think like the thing is just the way like the artwork you picked, like all the games. I think that's like, if you had picked something else, like, you know, the Nintendo one would have looked cool, but people would be like, oh, at least Nintendo. Yeah, exactly. When you have like all the different games, like, oh shit, this plays all these different games, and like, you know, there's so many games on the side of the box art. Someone's gonna get a nostalgia feel about at least one of the games. And look at that guy. He was like, oh, you got this.
He like all of them.
He was like, it's going like, you know, video games hold a special place in a lot of people's hearts. You know,
well, especially if you're young when you played them.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think retro gaming is like, it's going to continue to be a hot topic, because, you know, you have all these older gamers who like maybe played a little bit or dabble when they were kids, and now they're old, like, nah, you know, video games are past me. But when they see it, they're like, oh shit, you know, I want to get this. Yeah. You know, Xbox, I mean, yeah, these games are so advanced. I remember the good old days, and it kind of brings it back to the good old days.
Yeah, exactly.
Plug in.
Stoked.
Yeah, he loved it.
One of those costs
Like around 500. Yeah. But I mean, it's got a 22-inch monitor in there.
Yeah.
It's got a computer in there.
Yeah.
and you got joysticks with zero. It's got zero delay.
Yeah, man.
So it's hella fast.
I was just walking by. I noticed this thing immediately, man. Like, and this is like perfect for people that play these games. Definitely the best.
Which one of these games do you like?
Street Fighter 2, definitely. I can see him right here. Ryu Ken. I can see him on Chun-Li.
You playing for Super Nintendo?
I did play
Arcade.
on Super Nintendo,
Arcade.
I was on the arcade, you know,
all day.
beating the game in 1 quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And that, using every single player.
Got the power-ups.
You got the power-ups.
Oh.
Oh, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about, man.
for
You
sure.
already know.
I already know.
Man, I think you should just let me borrow this for like that, right? So, man, you can just let me borrow that. Just know that
We were just playing.
it's going to a
You
good
couldn't
use.
play with us. We were playing it. We were waiting for people.
Going to a good use.
Pads.
Joystick.
Joysticks, right?
I want
You want the old school
I
feel.
want it there.
Yeah.
3 buttons on top, 3
Woo.
buttons on bottom. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Right there, boy.
That classic feel.
I mean, just know that if you let me borrow it, I mean, it's going to somebody that's going to really appreciate it.
Exactly.
That's the most